Hello and welcome to Beering in Mind Beer Reviews. Today we're going to take a look at a unusual beer, to say the least. It's a beer made by one of the four major brewing companies in Japan, and it does something that you probably won't see very often, except maybe in a bar where some drunks are playing some kind of a drinking game. This beer today is called Asahi The Double, and the double refers to double styles in a single can. What they've done is blended, in fact it's called, in fine print here, it's called The Double Fine Blend, which means they have blended two types of beers, and what they've done is blended a pilsner and an ale into one beer. Nice enough, interesting, unusual. What does it mean? Well, we're going to find out today. They've put pilsner here, which is certainly a style of lager, and then over here ale. So they don't specify what kind of ale it is. I'm assuming it's probably a pale ale or a golden ale, but it could be a wide variety of ales here. So they say that it is all malt. On Rate Beer, it's classified as a pale lager or North American light, which is generally reserved for beers that have adjuncts in them, such as rice or corn or starch or things like that. This one is an all malt beer, and they specify in the ingredients here that the malt is a combination of foreign malt and Japanese malt as well. So this is pilsner and ale, and in fact in Japan, for the majors, ale is something they can make easily. When they do, they specify clearly it's ale beer on the can, because people are mostly used to simply lager beer. But of course ales have many styles. 5.5%, and this was originally brought out in September of 2018, and on the Asahi website they brought it out again this year with a different can. They claim slightly different content, but we're not sure exactly. And they claim that in response to the great popularity of this beer in September of 2018, they brought it out again in September of 2019. I don't know exactly how terribly popular it was, and I haven't seen this around many places. I just found it at one convenience store. Let's give this a go. On Rate Beer, this one has only 3 ratings for an average of 2.67 out of 5, and no percentile ratings for all beer or for its style, which is pale lager. Okay, so it pours out a very clear, deep, kind of medium gold amber with a variety of wild little carbonation floating up here, spinning up off the bottom. A finger of spongy white head, kind of soap sudsy head. Aroma. Get some yeast, definitely. Light stone fruit. Smells like apple juice, maybe light grapes. Yeah, fuzzy yeastiness for sure. Grain, very light fruitiness. Definitely some grapes. Mid-palate gets a little bit weird with some cardboard kind of flavor. Not that one would actually eat cardboard, but one you might expect cardboard would be like if you were going to put it into your mouth. It's got some light, very light bitterness in mid palate. Something a bit chalky. Unusual fruity finish here. And a little tiny bit of lingering bitterness here. Nothing at all special about this beer. It feels like a watered down version of either a pilsner or some kind of an ale. I kind of feel it was a mistake to put these two together here. So again, this is the kind of thing that one might do after sampling 20 or 30 different beers and deciding, well, let's mix these together and see what it tastes like here. And surprisingly, sometimes that really works. It produces something very unusual and often better than the two individual beers. In this case, I don't think it quite works out that way. Thin, medium body. Yeah. Anyway, my overall comment on this beer is why, or WTF did you do this here? Japanese breweries these days tend to try, or the four major breweries tend to try all kinds of things to improve their bottom line, which is not good, which has been declining over the last 11, 12 years. People aren't drinking beer as much, young people especially are not drinking beer as much. And so they're trying all kinds of things, kind of like throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. So apparently they thought this one was a sticker last year, and it's back. So you may see this in the convenience store. It's called Asahi The Double Fine Blend. You want to give it a try? Go ahead. I don't recommend it. I drank it, so you don't have to. And that's it for today. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.